5 seconds to go. Start. Pranab Mukherjee, who will be sworn in today as the 13th President of the Indian Republic, is a man conscious of his political stature. He is also a realist. It is the combination of these two qualities which, in all probability, will come to define his presidency. As a skilled practitioner of statecraft, it is not surprising that Arthashastra is his favorite book, or that a picture of its author Kautilya adorns his room. Here is a pointer to an interesting facet of his persona. Mukherjee had refused to pick up the phone and dial Mamta Banerjee's number himself to seek her support for his candidature. Instead, he got his secretary and senior Congress leaders to line up an appointment to see her. The meeting, though, did not materialize. Fearing Mamta's rejection, Mukherjee might not have wanted to land himself in such a situation. It is another matter that Mamta was later compelled to eat her words and vote for him. By way of an explanation for his reluctance to make that phone call, Mukherjee recounted what Indira Gandhi, who influenced him deeply as she did a generation of Congress leaders, had once told him. Political standing, Gandhi said, must never be compromised. A 6 feet tall man could lose weight if he was not given enough to eat, but he could not and should not lose height. Pranab Mukherjee has also demonstrated a rare ability to read the writing on the wall. This was evident in his agreeing to work under Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, which, given his seniority and experience, could not have been easy. As finance minister in the early 80s, Mukherjee had signed the order appointing Manmohan Singh as the RBI governor. Yet he stood solidly behind the PM as Singh increasingly resorted to running the government through GOMs and EGOMs, most of them headed by Mukherjee. He showed this realism once again in 2010, accepting that he would not be able to become Prime Minister and turning his attention to Raisina Hills. Presidents come and go every 5 years. Each Rashtrapati has defined his presidency. R. Venkataraman show his presidency as an emergency light which automatically came on in a crisis and went off after it was over. K.R. Narayanan saw himself as working president while APJ Abdul Kalam was the people's pledge. How will Pranab Mukherjee fashion his presidency? Will his tenure be like that of the first president Rajendra Prasad, who enjoyed a parity of stature with the then PM Jawaharlal Nehru and counselled the government on a host of issues? But while Rajendra Prasad often volunteered advice, even unsolicited, to Nehru, Manmohan Singh is likely to informally seek Pranab Mukherjee's advice himself. There are 1,000 informal ways for a president to help the PM. The extent to which Pranab Mukherjee will be able to act as a friend, philosopher, and guide to the government and even troubleshoot behind the scenes will depend on the kind of working relationship he and Manmohan Singh are able to establish in their own. Stop.